What's good, y'all, and welcome to my review of this week's episode of the Junji Ito collection. So he starts off with a girl running. She then stops, she's out of breath, she's like, and then our MC for this particular short story, Oshikiri-kun, I believe they say Oshikiri, is like, hey, aren't you Fuji Mio from my class? He's like, please, let me go home! So then she says, oh, please don't hurt me, please don't do anything bad to me. And she's like, what do you mean? But like the way it was shot and filmed in this particular scene almost kind of made him look like the villain, because he has like darker shadowing around his eyes. It just kind of looks like and his facial just kind of look like how a villain would look in an anime. So then she gets out of his grip and then runs away, but fades out of existence, kind of just disappears essentially. So then we go to them, guessing the next day, Ushiki has an internal monologue talking about, he knows that Fuji is still here at school, but he knows that it's probably not the same Fuji, because, she saw him disappear in his house the night before. So then he gets on like, oh, maybe it's her, maybe it's a different version of different her from like the other world, or like some alternate dimension and shit. So then she can't, but actually, then she catches him, looking at her, and then he kind of just looks away like nothing, like he wasn't. So then Fiji gives him like the class journal, tells him like, it's your turn. I don't know what he's supposed to do with it because I don't live in Japan, so yeah. So then she takes her, so then she leaves, and then, this kid, Iowa, I believe his name is, or something, along those lines, starts teasing him about, like, oh, so you're into Fiji, aren't ya? He's like, are you? And he's like, oh, that look kind of knowing how short you are, because you're shorter than her. And then he keeps saying, Sim's short, and Sim's short, short, tiny, runt, and pug, and pub, and all that other stuff. And actually, what I know is actually that I got surprised was actually when he says small and the similes are small, he actually keeps saying chibi, which I was going to say, like, oh wait, chibi actually means small in Japanese, which I was kind of surprised by that, but not at the same time, because I always thought chibi just meant the art style that we all know and love as anime fans, but apparently also means small, Japanese for small, or similes of small, which doesn't really surprise us, chibi characters are usually very short and shit. So then he then he grabs him by the collar, pushes him down to the ground, because he's like, he keeps saying shit, chibi, tiny, run, blah, 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 blah. He ain't having this shit no more. It's a sudden bitch. Then throws him throws him onto the ground. Then Iowa kicks him in the face, lands a couple punches on him before Fiji breaks his fight, says, suck on that. So then she asks him, hey, are you okay? Blah, blah, and he says, yeah, I'm fine, blah, 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 blah. So then we get back to his house, where his room weirdly has like a checkered pattern to it. I don't know why. He's like, that bastard. Then he hears a voice outside his room. He's calling out them, Oshikiri, and it's actually, I am, the bully, from, that we just recently saw. He has been turned into some kind of monster, and then, he just liquefies himself and becomes nothing, just kind of like just a puddle, essentially, and he's just like, what the fuck? So then we get back to his school, nothing's really changed, and then, Fuji, says, hey, I heard your house is like a big Western mansion. I would love to visit it. He's like, no, you wouldn't. You would not want to visit my place. And so he then eventually lets her come in, go to his place. So then he gets to his house. He passes through this like corridor, hall, or whatever, or gate, or whatever it's called. And he turns around, and he turns his head around, say, hey, just be careful. And then he notices that she has disappeared. And then we later find, then next scene we see him, and he comments that it's been 3 days later, that she hasn't come to school, and that she has been reported missing, and she hasn't come to school. So then he hears something outside his door, which is like this essentially another monster. It's like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like, it's a bunch of circles stacked on top, like I don't know, like a cylinder or whatever, like a bunch of circles, So like those stacking games where you like take one circle and you stack on top of another circle. It's essentially, she looks like that. She's like, hush kitty, turn me back to normal. I cursed you, and then she too disappeared. So then, after that whole ordeal, he does a little bit. He walks down this hall. He walks down the hallway, and then he gets transported to the other world because he says that he's on that this is the first floor, even though he was on the second. It says Checker Powers hears Fuji's voice like a head. So after yeah, then he sees that it's actually her as well as him from another world with a syringe in his hand, and he's begun his research on, I'm guessing, height growth formulas because as you guys remember, earlier he was teased for being short, so now he's trying to go grow in height with like this serum, and he tried it once before, didn't work. Tried again with the other. Fuji did not work either, so he's now going to work on her with hopefully that gains height without any side effects. So then he's about to so he's about to stick the syringe inside her. She's tied up on a chair, and then the MC from this unit, from from that we've been following throughout this whole story, comes in, stops it. Then they kind of a little fight scene. He gets then he sticks in the syringe into his other self from the other world, and we all thought, the audience as well as Fuji, think that was actually the real MC, but in actuality it was the fake when he got the syringe out of his hand when he kicked him. So she's fine. So then he grows. He's like, "Oh, you think this will stop me? There is an infinite number of killers." Blah blah blah. Alternate dimensions and shit. So then that's pretty much where the short story ends. And then we get to the second short story called Cloth Teacher, which actually stars Soichi from the first episode. You guys remember Soichi's Convenient Curses? Because you guys remember, if you saw my review for that first episode, you guys know how shocked I was. I was so puzzled and confused because I've heard so much of Junji Ito being a horror manga that the first episode was essentially a dark comedy, kind of confused. I was like, this isn't horror. This isn't creepy. I thought, am I watching the right show? But apparently he does do dark comedies on the KTG. Apparently wanted to be a comic manga, but he stuck to horror. Anyway, so he's back. He has the second short story, which I'm glad, because I really did like him in his first short story, which, by the way, kids, goes yes, I have listened to his English dub voice, which I believe he's actually voiced by the same guy that voiced Kaneki in the English dub of TG, Tokyo Ghoul. And which he sounds great now. I think I like a little bit more than the Japanese, although the Japanese is still fucking awesome. I love his Japanese voice and I love his English voice. So this time it's on Cloth Teachers. So then school is back in session. It's on break us over. One of the kids asks, I forget the kid's name. I'll just call him Four Eyes because he wears glasses. So he asks for hey, can you show me your math homework? Because he forgot his math homework. And he's like, sure. And then he's about to pull out some nails come through his paper, and it's actually from Soichi. And Four Eyes is like, Soichi, I thought I told you to stop throwing nails. I'll tell the teacher when he comes in. So then the teacher comes in, Yagada. I'll just call him Sensei because it's a lot easier to say than his real name. So so Sensei shows up, or I guess I'll just call him. I'll switch between teacher and Sensei. So then he shows up, and then all the guys, and then the class knows that's actually not their teacher, or at least they don't immediately catch on. But I think Four Eyes immediately catches on that that's actually not his teacher. It's a teacher, but he's made out of cloth. He has nails in his mouth, kind of Soichi has nails in his mouth when he was in the first episode, it was hammer and shit. So then Soichi and the teacher start playing around. They start shooting nails at each other from their mouths. Yes, and they hit trees. They got some pretty good aim, and they got some pretty good speed. They can actually make those nails actually go that fast and actually stick to it. So then the teacher's like, and then another teacher shows up. And she's like, huh? So then she's like, hey, what's he doing? Then the teacher goes a little bit ahead, a little bit far from his tree, and Soichi nails him right in the head with one of the nails. And then she's like, oh, and then she's like, night, and they start chasing after him. Then Four Eyes and his kid and his friends start catching on that that's actually not their teacher. It is a clone, I guess you could say, or a fake made of cloth. So Then, we get to this part where the teacher starts explaining this. He's like, it goes like this, then like that. Yeah, that's it. You get it. And Forrest goes like, sir, I do not understand. He's like, nah. And then he says, nani. He actually says nani like this. He's like, nani. Like, you don't get it after I say that much. Give me 100 laps around the track now. And then he actually does the 100 laps. And then he's like, of course, on the ground, breathing heavily, like, because running 100 laps. I mean, goddamn, you need to have like the stamina and endurance of like an Olympic runner. so after that, then Soichi starts giggling. He's like behind the stairs. He's like, and then the full rise be like, what did you do to the teacher? Soichi's like, I don't know what you mean. Doesn't ring a bell. It's like, don't play dumb with me. And then Soichi starts writing. By the way, Soichi in this episode, it's wearing some really short shorts. Like they're up to like they're almost booty short. Like they're like no, yeah, they're not that short, but they're pretty short. Like I don't like these are like they're like the same size as shorts, like a little bit longer than the shorts that basketball players used to wear in the '90s. They're a little bit longer than those, but they're still pretty short. So then, Soichi starts running, and then gets like top of like this pillar. And then Four Eyes grabs his shorts and exposes his butt to the world. And by the way, can someone please explain why Soichi's not wearing underwear? Because I didn't see any underwear. Like the animal, like the show's animating, there was no underwear. It was just the shorts. I did not see, and because I would have, unless it was just angled where you couldn't see underwear, but I'm pretty sure. So either he's not wearing underwear or it's just angled that way to make it look like he doesn't wear underwear. Anyway, his butt starts, going red. Then he runs away. And then he's like, and then we get back to his place. He's like, "Damn you, Four Eyes! How dare you expose my butt to the what's that saying? The light of day. That's it. Like, how dare you expose it to me to the light of day?" Anyway, so he's like, I will curse you, and I will ruin you. So then he gives him facial hair. He gives him a 5 o'clock shave, essentially. So everyone's like, hey man, how are you growing a beard? It's like, I don't know, I just woke up like this. I'm still not sure. The teacher's like, you grew a beard? How arrogant! Then he pulls out a blade or what are those things called? Anyway, it's like those one blade, shavers that sometimes barbershops use for like just like one blade, put the shaving cream, and then you just use that instead of like a usual razor that you use a razor. So yeah, one blade razor. You got like then he's like, no, I'm gonna shave it off for you. So then Four Eyes starts backing away. He gets into like the wall, and then the teacher kind of like slices his cheek up a little bit. Another one teacher shows up, be like, hey, the principal wants to see you. Go see. He's like, I wonder what he wants. I wonder if it's a raise. So then, after that, the Four Eyes and his kids, and then his friends, meet up at this place. I think they're at like his house, and then another one of the teachers shows up, but it's actually Suga, I believe her name is. She comes up, but she is too now a teacher made of cloth, and then she chases after them with like a rope, and then she starts running. The way she runs is like like the way she runs, kind of like if any of you guys played Ninja Gaiden, the NES version, you got to know that the ninjas kind of like the way the ninjas run in that game kind of look a little bit sort of how she's running this one. It's like so she's chasing after them with ropes. Her teeth are nails, and they're just running away while she's charging at them with this rope. So she chases after them, and then the kids they run toward this place where someone is creating like a campfire. They grab a piece of wood, light the piece of wood fire, and then light the cloth doll fire. Not the whole thing, it's just like a portion of her face that gets burned. And so after that, they go to Soichi's place because he's obviously the culprit. I mean, I don't think anyone else does that kind of shit in that school. So they kind of like sneak into his place. I'm guessing it looks like the attic they're actually at. So they find another one of the dolls, which is actually a Four Eyes. So then he's like, what the hell is this? Why is this here? So then they like, no, let's leave this here. Let's see what happens to the teacher tomorrow. If she goes crazy, we'll take care of the doll. If not, just, leave it alone. So then the doll, the next day arrives, the doll goes ham on the kids. They try to stop him. the Four Eyes starts beginning to lose his strength because he thinks because apparently the doll is like sucking in his like soul or whatever because Soichi is also beginning to work on the doll and pretty much making it alive. So anyway, so we get back to the school. Soichi's brother then shows up. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing there, Soichi?" Soichi gets out of there. The doll starts running because what he programmed the doll to do was, run like around the track like 100 laps butt naked. So that happens, and then Soichi, then the teacher, that was the original teacher, was hiding in the bush and asked Soichi, "Hey, let's play nails again." Soichi and says like, "Nah, not today, or not right now." I say. But actually, he starts throwing nails at him anyway, and one of them actually directly lands on his ass. So then we get to school. The teacher's going ham on the students with a whip. Then after that, she notices Four Eyes, and then she charged right at him because she burned his face. He burned some of Soga's face off. The teacher that's now been turned into a cloth teacher or a doll or whatever you want to call it. Anyway, so after this, so then the doll of the Four Eyes shows up. She thinks that's actually, she confuses the doll of Four Eyes for the real Four Eyes. Just destroys him. Then Soichi shows up. And the teacher still chases them, throwing nails at him. Some of them are landing on his ass. Some of them are missing. So then Soichi gets on this fence, and he's like, and then the teacher pulls down his pants and exposes his ass to the world. Once again, he is not wearing underwear. I do not know why. Anyway, so that's pretty much, though. Then the other teachers do wake up from where they originally were, and everything, and the beard is gone. It's gone for Four Eyes, or I should say, the 5 o'clock shadow. And everything pretty much just goes back to normal, and that's where the episode ends. So overall, great shit. I really dig this episode. Yeah, and it was nice seeing Soichi again because I really did enjoy that story, so I'm glad I got another one. So my final review for this week's episode, the Junji Ito Collection, is a 9 out of 10. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter if you like. Links down in the description box below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.